All right, welcome to a live episode of Mike's Money Picks. Today on the podcast, we're going to be trying something entirely new. I do not believe this has ever been tried in the history of YouTube streaming before. I'm going to be streaming a live best ball draft on Underdog for both college football and NFL at the exact same time. I'm still workshopping the name, but I want to call this the Travis Hunter of best ball drafting because, Travis Hunter played both wide receiver and DB. This is an example of drafting both NFL and college football. But, I'm not married to the name yet because, it's not necessarily the same as offense and defense. And I can't really think of an example where like somebody did both NFL and college at the same time. I thought about the Deion Sanders, but Deion's thing was more NFL and baseball in the same day. This is NFL and college football at the same time. So I don't know. I'm still workshopping the name, but for now we can call it Travis Hunter best ball drafting, right? So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the drafting. I'm going to see if I can do my best to do both of these without losing my mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign up for a college best bowl mania on Underdog. And I'm going to also sign up for an NFL, the Puppy 2 team, because I'm not going to be doing this with Best Ball Mania. I want to do it with a $5 draft as opposed to a $25 draft. So as you can see right now, we're going to be waiting for just a second. In college, we're waiting for 7 people. In the NFL lobby, we are waiting for now 1 person. So yeah, if you're looking to join or to draft live with us for college football, go ahead and join Best Ball Mania because it appears as if we're waiting on that one to fill at the moment. Oh, now our NFL one has filled. Now, purely for the sake of streaming, what would cause this to get the most chaotic would be if I was in the middle of the rounds for both the drafts, right? But I appear to get pretty lucky here in the NFL one. I am at the number 2 overall pick. So I'm going to have a pretty good break in between picks on the NFL side. On the college side, we're still waiting on 6 people. I don't know what slot we are going to end up with there. But while we're waiting on to fill and to start, be a great time to go ahead and kind of talk about the similarities and differences between these 2 drafts, right? Because NFL is obviously you're drafting against like much more seasoned best ball players. Usually you're dealing with a higher base of player knowledge usually. And you're also dealing with a lot more just ease of access to information. It's a little bit more predictable on the NFL side. You don't see a whole lot of reaches before ADP. You kind of see everybody, their positional tendencies are, fairly predictable throughout. On the college side, where there's less knowledge of players, where there's less experience of drafting, and there's just kind of a bigger player base to work with, you end up with a lot more chaos, right? And so the college side is kind of the drafting of chaos. The NFL side is kind of the drafting of predictability. Still waiting for 6 people on the college side. Like I said, if you want to draft with us on the college side, go ahead and join one now. Because you'll join our lobby. So obviously I'm not going to be colluding with anybody, but if you want to join us for the college draft, go ahead and join. I see we got some people in the comments. Fantasy Football Garage, what is up, my guy? Stay tuned to the Fantasy Football Garage channel because we are going to have a collab coming soon. So y'all go ahead and subscribe to him if you have not already. We're going to be doing some best ball drafts together, and it's going to be a good time. So make sure you go over and check out his channel. Now, back to talking about kind of the strategy of drafting. On the college side, also, I think that generally speaking, on the college side, people put less of an importance on stacking. I am on the other side. I like to stack in college when it makes sense. If I can get players near value, if I can do late stacks, I like it a lot. Or if I have pocket passers or guys that play in significantly pass-heavy systems, I like stacking in college. I feel like people are kind of averse to it because college does have so many mobile quarterbacks. It does have just so many like teams that you have, like it's kind of overwhelming to look at. But I do think that there is some value in stacking, but obviously the NFL, if you've done best ball draft, stacking is like the name of the game. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here in this NFL lobby so far. So I had the second overall pick. The first guy drafted Jamar Chase, as is to be expected. I took Bijan Robinson, which is, in my opinion, he's the second overall pick. I don't mind taking Jefferson there. I would not fault anybody for taking Jefferson there. But I really think Bijan is going to be your RB1 this season. I love what he's got going on with the Falcons. I think it's a great system for him. I think that they're a team that's going to get him the ball early and often. And he's a guy that is just, I think, just supremely talented and a future Hall of Famer in the making. So I really like the idea of getting him at the number 2 overall pick. And I feel like your options are kind of a little bit more open later in the draft if you start off with that running back there as opposed to receiver. That's just my experience. But like I said, I would not fault anybody for taking Jefferson. For the most part, we're seeing a pretty chalky draft so far. I would say McCaffrey went a little bit earlier than I would probably take him. Yeah, this is kind of like been a fairly predictable draft. Like I was saying earlier, that college is the side of chaos, NFL is the side of predictability. I guess you could say that Puka went after ADP at 10. Maybe you could make that argument here. That is a little bit late for Puka. Now, as it is getting closer to us, there went A.J. Brown at 16. Amon-Ra falling to 15 is a little out of the ordinary, too. That guy got some value. So that guy who did he pick in the first round? Puka and Amon-Ra. Wow, he is rolling in the ADP value right now. If ADP value could win you actual currency, he would be in really good shape. So we are 2 picks away. I would have loved to have gotten Ladd McConkey. If not, that's okay. Let's see what we're looking at. I don't really want to. This has put me in a tough spot. I don't really feel the need to take Tyreek Hill, or to take T. Higgins, but also don't want an RB start. I'm going to take Josh Jacobs. And yeah, it is an RB start. And, it's a little different, but we'll make it work. That was kind of like worst case scenario with drafting a running back in round 1 is you end up with kind of that as the comeback around where really like your favorite guy at the top of the board is T. Higgins. Like I'm not the biggest T. Higgins guy. I'm just not. Now here what we got. I'm going to take Marvin. Yeah. I really like Marvin Harrison this year. I think that it's so easy for us to forget because he had a somewhat underwhelming rookie season that, he's all of a sudden not like this generational wide receiver prospect when in actuality, like he's one of the best wide receivers to come in the draft in the last decade. And so I'm going to trust that they can get it figured out over there in Arizona. I think he's a really solid pick at the start of the 3rd round. Okay, now as much as I was talking about the NFL being the side of predictability, now we're having a little bit of unpredictability. This is fun. So after I took Josh Jacobs at the turn, we had Devontae Adams and Amari Hampton going. That's quite early on Amari Hampton, but like Amari Hampton's trending upward because Najee Harris might apparently be blind now. And so if that's the case, then he's going to be a workhorse running back like early in his career. After I took Marvin Harrison, we saw Lamar Jackson go at 28 and then T. Higgins fall all the way to 29. That's interesting. We're getting some different results here, which is cool. Right. It's just ironic that it happened like right after I said that the NFL was predictable and that we were having a pretty chalky lobby. Rashee Rice going 30 is also intriguing. Like he's kind of like the in vogue topic of the week in best ball, I guess you could say, because of the fact that he's what's the word? I don't know how you would. I don't want to say court case. I feel like that's like the layman's terms. I guess his legal matter is starting to get settled, and it's likely that he's going to come down with a suspension. Look, I haven't drafted Rashee Rice all offseason. I have no regrets. I just think that his role kind of got auctioned off to Xavier Worthy. We've seen it back-to-back years in the Andy Reid system that he kind of acclimates rookie receivers late in the season. And so, we saw it with Rashee Rice at the end of his rookie year where he really started expanding his role in late regular season in the playoffs. And then we saw the same exact thing happen to Xavier Worthy late in the season and in the playoffs. So I really think that Xavier Worthy is the guy that you want in that Chiefs offense. Also, just quick update. We're still waiting on 6 people on the college side. It's a little bit disappointing that we're not getting to kind of start simultaneously here, but it is what it is. If I need to start a second NFL draft and do 2 NFLs in the time it takes to do 1 college, I will do that if we can get a simultaneous draft. All right, so I'm 2 picks away now. I'd love for Evans or McMillan to fall to me. Evans, well, there went Evans. I like McMillan a lot. The Panthers showing a really high pass rate late in the season once they had improving Bryce Young. So feeling really good about getting him there at 47. I'm going to be curious to see if this guy does take Joe Burrow to secure the stack here at pick 49. I think that's a likely outcome. I'm not getting to see what he does. Oh, he took Travis Hunter. Interesting. I'm going to take DK Metcalf here at pick 50, giving myself some different stacking options kind of later on in the board. Like I can definitely stack with Kyler if I wanted to. Now that I got Harrison, I can stack Bryce Young with McMillan. I can stack Aaron Rodgers with Metcalf. All three different bye weeks, all three alpha receivers in their offense. I like what I'm doing with my wide receiver room so far. Like I said back earlier, like really, I like the idea of starting off with Bijan at that second overall pick because I do think that you expand your options having that number one running back locked in earlier and being able to go from there as opposed to where you have receiver. It feels almost more difficult to kind of take running backs late. Like right now, the only downside is that both my running backs, Robinson and Jacobs, do have the week 5 bye, but I can work around that. Like that's not a worry for me. All right, let's see. As I was filibustering there, Joe Burrow did go. Did that guy have T. Higgins? No, he did not. See, I'm surprised the guy that had T. Higgins didn't take Burrow. That would have been a very unique Burrow team if you had Saquon, Ladd, Higgins, Kittle, Burrow. That would have been a really unique roster if he had done that. I get why he didn't, but that would have been a really unique situation. Like if he would have made it to the finals, he would have been looking at a very unique team here in this contest. See, now that we've gotten kind of everything coming back around, now's the time where I start feeling a little bit better about the fact that I have 2 running backs, right? Because the running back option is starting to look a little bit bleak. Although I will say I would not mind taking DeAndre Swift at the comeback around, like at the start of round 6. I really like DeAndre Swift this year. I think that he's in a really good situation with that offense in Chicago. I think that he's a big play waiting to happen in a Ben Johnson offense. We've seen him in a Ben Johnson offense before. And I just think that Chicago offense is going to be really improved this year. Like I just don't see how they're worse than they were last year. All right, so it's getting close to our time now. So there went Jerry Jeudy. I really like Jerry Jeudy this year, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and put Jacoby Myers in the queue. Although, if Addison falls, Addison has me tempted. Also, if you're seeing my ranks on the screen, I do not actually have RJ Harvey at 50. Somehow my ranks didn't end up updating. There went DeAndre Swift, like we were talking about. That's a little bit disappointing. I also really like the idea of Deebo Samuel, but I also think Deebo might be cooked. Like, that's just a worry that I have. So now here's the question. It might come to me. Myers or Addison? One, I'm going Myers if he falls. That's the answer. And we're waiting on Pedersen right here to pick. Oh, he went Deebo. I'm going Myers. Now, I might have Addison come back around to me, although, do I want somebody else? Nah, I think Addison will be a good pick if he comes back around. Actually, no, I'm going to switch. I'm going to put Montgomery in the queue. I kind of like the idea of getting a running back with a different buy right here. And there went Addison anyway, so that was perfect timing, right? Yeah. He went Laporta. Totally get that pick as well. I actually like that pick considering he has JMO already. Yeah, we're going to go Montgomery. Like, the thing is with Montgomery is, like, at his lowest, he's like where we're drafting him, like running back 25. He is an end zone hunter and an underdog. Like, that's what we like. Like if I have a dud week out of Robinson or Jacobs, there's a high likelihood that Montgomery in that Lions offense finds the end zone and gives me a non-dud week, right? And if Montgomery, or let me rephrase, if Gibbs were to get hurt, Montgomery would instantly be like a top 5 fantasy running back. People always think of it as the other side where, like, when Montgomery was hurt last year, Gibbs was like RB1. The same would be true the other way around, y'all. Like, Montgomery might not be as explosive as Gibbs, but Montgomery with all the volume and Montgomery with a pass catching role is going to get you a ton of fantasy points. So I kind of like the idea of getting a little bit of contingent value there with Montgomery, with my RB3, considering that I was already ahead at receiver with Harrison, McMillan, Metcalf, Myers, 4 alpha receivers to start off. By the way, still waiting on 4 people in the college room. So if you guys want to draft with me, I ain't going to let you have it, like let you win the contest or nothing. But if you want to draft with me, be a part of this stream history, the Travis Hunter stream, as we're calling it, feel free to join the college lobby for Best Ball Mania right now. Yeah, seeing Darren in the comments, it says Debo will stay injured off and on. Yeah, that's probably what we're looking at this year, right? Like it's just kind of what he's been the last few years. When he's healthy, I think he's a perfect fit for what Cliff Kingsbury wants to do in Washington. The question is just whether or not he wants to stay healthy. How much life does Montgomery have left? 5 to 6 years top in NFL. I tend to agree with that. But hey, you pass part by best ball. I only need him for 1. This isn't dynasty. And if this 1 year happens to be a year where Jahmyr Gibbs gets hurt, you're getting a ton of value with Montgomery. All right, so now might be a time for me to look at Kyler. Let me see what else I got coming up the board, because this lobby's starting to go a little bit off the rails, right? Like just in this round, we saw Powered a little bit ahead of ADP, ETN and Fields significantly ahead of ADP. But hey, at the same time, like if you're at the end of the round and you really like, if ETN's your top running back and Fields is your top quarterback, they're not coming back around to you. So I kind of understand that pick. No, it is technically ahead of ADP. If Matthew Golden falls, that's going to be a really good ADP value, honestly. And you start kind of with a backup plan if he doesn't, though. All right, Ayuk, so we're good in that regard. Yeah, if Golden gets taken, we'll just take Kyler right here, and we'll figure out a plan after that. So here's the moment of truth. Does he take Golden? I'm afraid that that's an auto pick, and I'm afraid he's going to get Golden. We're rating on Underdog. Oh, cool. Did not. So I get Golden. And I don't think Falcor has any Cardinals. So I should be able... Yeah, he has Laporta at tight end. He doesn't have McBride. He doesn't have Michael Wilson. So I should be able to get Kyler for the stack with Marvin Harrison here. Waiting on Underdog. I don't know why, like... I don't see this on other people's streams where their Underdog times out like that for 10 seconds. I wish mine would get right. Let's see what we got. Let's see if he does actually snipe me on Kyler. I hope he doesn't. He took Keon Coleman. I get it. I should like Keon Coleman as an upside play. Seeing Darren in the comments, missed the start of the video. Do you prefer wide receiver over running back? First, depends on the player and on the situation, right? Like, I was talking about here in this NFL draft how I had the number 2 overall pick, and I really like the idea of starting with Bijan. I've had the number 2 overall pick a few times, and I just like the pool of players and the options that are available to me when I take Bijan there, as opposed to when I take Justin Jefferson there. Now, obviously, if I could take Jamar Chase there, I would, because you'd be ending up with some unique teams and some different options if you were able to take Chase there. But I think that in that 2 spot, yeah, I'm team Bijan over Justin. But like after that, like, yeah, Jefferson would probably be my number 3. With number 4, I think you can make an argument for Lamb or Gibbs. Like I get it either way. So it would just kind of depend on what I was looking at on the board for that particular draft. Okay, so now we got we need a tight end. I do like Evan Ingram. I really like Evan Ingram a lot this year. So if it'd be a Christmas miracle if he could fall to me, but if he does, that's the play. If I don't get Evan Ingram, I'd also like Njoku a lot. David Njoku is probably one of my biggest tight end exposures so far. So if I could get Njoku, there went Ingram. So now the plan is Njoku. If Njoku is able to fall to me here at pick 119, that is going to be the play. If he doesn't, then I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. But like I said earlier, like the fact that I scooped up Bijan and Jacobs early really allows me for some flexibility with running back because I was able to get Montgomery, and now I don't feel compelled to have to take some of these greasy, ugly running back picks right now. Like at the running back position, I really like Scattaboo. I really do. Just like what I saw out of him in college, and I think that that's going to translate to the NFL. Like he wasn't beating people with speed or athleticism in college, y'all. He was beating people with dog. Like he got that dog in him, right? So I think he's going to be a good NFL player, and I really do like him. But other than that, like running back is pretty greasy and dusty right now, and so I'm really glad that I have 3 locked in. And right here, I'm going to be taking Njoku. I'm going to let it time out on me so that way I have more time to think about my next angle of attack. So, y'all, I'm kind of in on the Green Bay offense with this build so far. I might just take Jordan Love and be done at quarterback. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, whoops, crap. No pressure. I think I got it. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take Jordan Love and be done at quarterback. That's my move. I think the guy, there was a guy that drafted Tucker Kraft the round before that was probably trying to set up that stack. So I probably totally messed up his stack. Yeah, like let's see here. Yeah, this Mafu right here. He already had Lamar, so maybe he wasn't trying to set up a stack, but he did draft Tucker Kraft. So if he was looking to set up a stack, I totally messed him up there. Now, I'm going to be honest. Drafting Jordan Love now has me in a really good position to take one of my favorite, like, round 12, round 13 flyer type of players, and that is Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs, every down starter for Green Bay without Christian Watson in the lineup. That's what we're going to see again this year. Like they're 2 starting receivers when they're in 12 personnel or 21 personnel is going to be Golden and Dobbs, I would assume. And Jaden Reed would only play in 11 personnel when there's 3 receivers on the field. So I could really lock in these 2 Packers receivers with Dobbs. And also by taking Love, which I didn't have to do, but I really didn't like a whole lot of the options that were presented to me. If I didn't take Love, I could have easily stacked with Bryce Young. I could have easily stacked with Aaron Rodgers. I could have easily stacked with Geno Smith. But now I'm done at quarterback, and I don't have to worry about that, right? But that also doesn't mean that I'm just going to totally neglect all future Carolina Panthers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Las Vegas Raiders, right? Like, I could definitely see myself adding a Jack Beck or a Dante Thornton or a Xavier Legette. Never mind on Xavier Legette because he just got taken. But I could definitely see myself adding more guys from those offenses, right? All right, let's get caught up with the chat here. Darren says, any worries at Vikings QB situation, or is JJ QB proof? Look, if Justin Jefferson can be a top 10 fantasy receiver with Sam Darnold throwing him the ball, like as a Carolina Panthers fan, I saw a full year and a half of Sam Darnold. It wasn't great. If he can be good with Sam Darnold, he can be good with J.J. McCarthy. I happen to think J.J. McCarthy is quite good at football. And I think that the offense he was in college didn't really showcase what he was able to do because all that he had to do is here, Blake Corum, here, Donovan Edwards, Colson Loveland, you're wide open. There you go. Like it just wasn't asking him to do a whole lot, but I think he actually has a whole lot of arm talent. So we get Dobbs there at 143. Let me go ahead and take a look at the board, what we got here. I like Jaden Blue a lot as a prospect, but those training camp reports were quite concerning. Quite concerning. You know what? Let's go a little outside the box here. Let's take Dylan Sampson. Because like if Judkins gets suspended, like what would prevent Sampson from just like running away with that starting running back role? So let's roll the dice. All right, let me get caught back up on the chat now. So Michael says, need more 2 in the college draft? Yes, still waiting on 2 more. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to end up doing another NFL draft after the college one starts. So that way we do get the experience of simultaneous drafting, right? Like that was the whole point of the video. I haven't been allowed to do it that way yet. So yeah, I'm probably gonna fire up another NFL one, but still waiting on 2 more in college. So if you want to draft with us, I see some people out there watching. You want to draft with us? Join the Best Bowl Mania lobby, and let's do this together. Now y'all might be getting a little advantage because once I start going simultaneously, it's gonna be a lot for me to keep up with. Darren in the chat says, love and Green Bay wide receiver burned me so many times last year. Only pack I trusted, Jacobs. Yeah, I get it. Like in season long fantasy, I think I'm on that train with you. But like in best ball, when I can have 18 players on my roster and I don't have to make the start or sit decisions, and I can just have Jaden Reed when he goes off for 35 points, or I can have Matthew Golden when he scores 27 fantasy points. Like, I think that makes them a lot easier if you can build out a stack in best ball. But yeah, in season long, yeah, I'm not touching any of them in season long because you just never know which one I'm going to go off. But in best ball, when I can get all of them and I get the automatic one that goes off, yeah, that's a profitable trade in my opinion. How do you see Carolina RB situation? How do you see Pitt running back situation? So, I'm going to assume we're talking NFL because Carolina could be referring to the Tar Heels. Pitt could be referring to the Panthers, ironically. Carolina, right, like let me rephrase. Canales loves a workhorse running back. Like, it's his thing. It's what he does, right? Especially in like a single game sample size. He loves to just like pound one running back. And so that one running back is going to be Chuba Hubbard. They paid him some money this offseason, but it wasn't long term. So I really think that what they're going to be like looking to do is to just kind of use him while they have him, right? Like run him into the ground while he's still on the roster. And for the Pittsburgh running back situation, that's a tough one to figure out because Arthur Smith just like seemingly hates Jaylen Warren. Like, he just didn't really play him a whole lot at all for reasons unknown. And they drafted Caleb Johnson. I think Caleb Johnson is a really good fit for what Pittsburgh wants to do. But like, it's still Arthur Smith. If there's one unpredictable coordinator / head coach in the NFL, it's Arthur Smith. Like, I'm just not like I used to coach high school football too, right? So like, I understand like from a coach's point of view how difficult some things are, right? But he's a guy that I'm truly like not a fan of for fantasy purposes, Arthur Smith, just because of how he just manages his teams. So, talking about the other situations there, I kind of got a little bit sidetracked. My last 2 picks, I did build on my Las Vegas Raiders offense with Jacoby Myers, and now I got Jack Beck. There's rumors of like in camp of like Dante Thornton outplaying him. Jack Beck was the best receiver on the field at the Senior Bowl. Jack Beck is not going to be the biggest, strongest, fastest guy or the best looking guy in a t-shirt and shorts, but Jack Beck is a football player. I'm going to trust that the football player is going to show up and play well for the Raiders. And then I said earlier I like DeAndre Swift. Well, the corollary to that is if DeAndre Swift gets injured, I like Roschon Johnson or Common On guy, right? So like I just like the Bears running back opportunities that they're going to have with this revamped offensive line, with this Ben Johnson offense. So Roschon Johnson there at 170 feels like a little bit of a value available to me. So now I need my second tight end, and I really feel never mind. I really feel like they fall off a cliff after Mason Taylor. You could make the argument that I probably should have taken Mason Taylor instead of Roschon, but especially considering Roschon had bye week 5, but maybe I did go wrong there. Oh, well, we'll see. Yeah, I really feel like tight end falls off a cliff after Mason Taylor, because just looking at it now, like, oh boy, that's gross. Maybe Jatavion Sanders will be my guy, but I don't have to take him just yet. I I really like Jalen Noel. So he might be my guy. Yeah, Jalen Noel falls to me. That's going to be the guy. Also, quick update on the college best ball mania draft. We're still waiting on one person. Just one. All it takes is one. So hopefully that one spot gets filled. Yeah, I see Darren in the chat says, "Are you wearing your Longhorn shirt tonight, Bijan and Roshan?" Yeah, and I also have Matthew Golden, and I also might end up taking Jatavion Sanders. So yeah, this could just be the Longhorns team. Oh, did someone take Noel? Dang it! All right, Calvin Austin. All right, got it in. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Jatavion Sanders. Actually, should I? Or should I go Schultz? You know what? We're going for vibes here. Jatavion Sanders. I already have a Carolina Panther. I already have 4 Texas Longhorns. Let's add another one on here. All right. So now, looking at what I've got a 2-5-8-2. I got one more pick. I really have a host of receivers with a week 5 bye. 4 to be exact. So, so here's the question. Like, the question now is like, should I go for that third tight end and like really shore up that room? I don't feel like I need a third quarterback at all. Should I go for a third tight end and really shore up that room and like guarantee like a floor? Or do I just say, hey, I drafted David Njoku to be my starter. I like David Njoku. I feel pretty good about David Njoku this season. And if I do feel good about David Njoku, then I'm not really going to get a whole lot of help from another tight end. I think that's going to be my thinking here. And I need a receiver that's not going to have a week 5 bye. I could add another Green Bay Packer and Dontavian Wicks, but that defeats the purpose. I like Ray McLeod as a round 18 pick, but that defeats the purpose. It's like a lot of guys in here that I do like as round 18 picks. So, update, by the way, that College Best Ball Mania has filled. I'm going to put 2 guys in the queue. Both of them on the same concept. Really, actually, yeah, 3 different guys. Okay, update. We're in Best Ball Mania on the college side, and I got pick 11. So, like I said, I'm going to fire up an NFL right after this one ends, and we'll see how it goes drafting simultaneously, because I didn't get to get that experience this time. I just got to talk about the NFL side all the way through, which we didn't get to do the first time. So this NFL draft is about to come to a close. The college side is about to start. And now I'm really going to have to be like a keyboard cowboy here with the 2 tabs and with eyeing how many picks away I am on both sides. So with what I was talking about with this last receiver pick is I like the idea of a round 18 receiver of a offense that we think is going to be good with a receiver that could like outperform projections, right? So Elijah Moore to me is like example 1 of that, because he was just always stuck on bad offenses. And like, what if he's actually pretty good in Buffalo? That's an offense that's got a lot of targets that they got to replace. No Amari Cooper. What if he just ends up being good? Or like he gives me a little bit of touchdown equity also, right? So let's go ahead and take him. And now we are done with this NFL draft. And now I'm going to go back and enter another puppy. And now we have the true Travis Hunter experience of playing both NFL and college at the same time. All right, so let's get caught up on college here. So Desmond Reed, the 1-1, not surprised there. I don't fault it. Like really any of the first 4 guys, I wouldn't complain if anybody told me that they were the number 1 overall pick. With how it's looking now, I really like the first tier of running back, or the second tier of running back that is like Hankerson, Edwards, Love, Hughes. I like those guys. But as it's shaping up to me, I really feel like I can get one of them on the way back down. So let's continue the theme of the night. And if Arch falls to me, we're going to take Arch. Yes, Arch Manning. All right, here we go. I love Arch Manning, in case you guys can't tell. As a resident Longhorns fan with admittedly Homer bias, I heart Arch Manning. Okay, sue me. I think that there's a chance he could be really, really good, and if he is, then Texas is going to win a national championship, and it's a very good feeling to have your team be that, like in that position. All right, so now like this is playing out perfectly. Like I said, I'm going to be able to get two of the top running backs that I like. Or one of the top running backs that I like, with Hankerson falling down to me at pick 14. Dream start over here. Now, in the NFL side, on pick 11, wow, what are the odds that I get 11 for both of them? Like the odds of me getting the same pick would obviously be like 1 out of 12. So I guess the odds of both of them being 11 would be 1 out of 144. Yeah, crazy. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add some guys to the queue, kind of get ready. And hopefully hopefully we're going to get 2 guys from that queue right there. I'm 5 picks away. On the college side, it's gone quite slow after me. Devin Dampier went in round 2. I like Dampier. I don't like him that high though. I really like Damon Williams as like a round 2 quarterback, and I'm surprised he is still available. I'm also starting to get more and more cautious about John Mateer, and he went pretty high in this draft as well. Okay, back to the NFL side. 1 pick away, we're going Nico if he falls. That's the plan. Okay, Nico didn't fall. Tell you what, let's go Amon-Ra. And then I'm hopefully going to get either Genty or Thomas, unless this guy really screws me. Oh, it's Pedersen. He was in the last draft. Okay, he went Henry and HN. Cool. So I'm going to get Genty. And I really like Genty. Like, I feel like Genty's name's kind of gotten like slung through the mud, like because people think the Raiders offense isn't going to be good. Okay, that's fine. Like, a lot of other great running backs didn't have good offenses either and still scored a lot of fantasy points, especially considering the fact that he's not like this zero through the air that people think he is. Like, he's one of the best running back prospects in the last decade, and I really think he's going to be just a fantastic NFL player. So I have no qualms taking Genty. All right, so now we've actually got like a little bit of like time to breathe. We're double-digit picks away in both. Let's catch back up on what's happening here on the college side. So, holy crap, round 2 was literally all running backs and quarterbacks. That is something I don't know if I've ever seen, but I get it because I think that the name of the game in this format is you want to lock in your early running backs and your early quarterbacks. So now, with it coming to me in round 3, obviously I'm going to go ahead and queue up the guys that I like. I really like Ahmad Hardy. I'd be cool with Caden Durham. There went Ahmad Hardy. Never mind. Haynes and Haynes. I like both of them. We'll see what falls to me. Deion Burks is probably the one guy I'm like the most lukewarm towards. Like the more time goes on, the more I'm worried about the Oklahoma offense. If that's like, I know resident Texas fan Homer, yeah, sue me. The more time goes on, the more I'm getting concerned about that offense. I just am. Mateer was great against lower level competition. Big step up to the SEC. Big step up. And I don't know how that's going to look for him. So here's my interesting strategy here. He takes Hoover. I'm going to go ahead and take Justice Haynes. And I'm going to plan on taking Robertson or Levitt. Yeah, that works. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Because I was literally just kind of like hedging my bet there that he was going to take one of the running backs, one of the quarterbacks. I took the one I liked the best, which was Haynes. Now, I could have made the argument that I should have taken Robertson because there might have been a bigger gap between Robertson and Levitt than Durham and Robertson. But hey, I'm cool with both of them. Like, that's not the biggest deal to me. All right, back to the NFL side. I'm currently 2 picks away. I like the idea of Scary Terry. Oh, Lamar Jackson's still there. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Never mind. 1 pick away. Yeah, we're going Scary Terry if he falls. And then that brings the question of like, do I consider a Jaden Daniels stack if I'm able to get Scary Terry? Well, I am able to get Scary Terry. So now I've got a decision to make, y'all. Now I've got a decision to make. He's going to go a receiver here. He's got to because he's got 2 running backs. Yeah. He's not going to take Jaden Daniels. Oh, he took Jaden Daniels. Wow. Wow. Did not see that coming. All right. Amarian Hampton. Fired away. Wow. That was surprising. I thought I had my Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stack, but old Pedersen threw me a curveball. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and kind of get my bearings here. I'm going to go ahead and start putting some guys in the queue that I might like if they fall to the next little spot, right? Yeah, Ridley, Waddle, Hubbard, that feels good, right? Yeah, let's do that. All right, so back to the college side. So one interesting thing in the college side has been I've been very much closely following where Kenyon Sadiq falls because I think he's very clearly the number 1 tight end, but like I don't know if he's like a 4th round pick worthy kind of guy, right? Like last year in Best Bowl Mania, for college, I got to make sure I enunciate between Best Bowl and Best Ball Mania. Best Bowl Mania, the college side, tight end was like such a non-factor unless you had Gadsden or Warren, and even then, Gadsden required around 3 pick, and you got more production out of Warren if you had him, and he could have been had in like the 12th round. So like, it's just crazy how little that position mattered, and I'm just not going to invest a whole lot in the tight end position in these drafts. I'm just not. Now, what I'm looking at right now, if my Longhorn Ryan Wingo falls and I get a little Arch Wingo stack, that's what I'm going to go with. That's what I would consider to be a great stacking option in college best ball. Is like you've got a guy in Arch that's going to be passing for a lot of yards. Yes, Arch has legs, but Arch is going to be primarily throwing. And you've got a big play receiver in Ryan Wingo. Now, also, I could be super aggressive and try to like make it like a double, triple stack, right? I might not. What I'm looking at right now is I've got my 2 running backs locked in. I really like the idea of getting a 3rd running back, but the problem is that he is Arizona State. I'm gonna go Chase Sewell. All right, got it in. So yeah, the totally balanced roster so far: 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. 7 picks away on the NFL side. So let me go ahead and get my queue set up here. And if you're wondering why I like, oh gosh, I'm totally blanked on the name. Why I like Kyson Brown so much. There we go. I like Kyson Brown a lot because of the fact that Arizona State preferably plays a workhorse running back. And if he ends up being that workhorse running back, that's going to be like a huge, huge role for him, right? I'm going to go ahead and, all right, I got my queue set up here. I'm going to make sure I come back to it, though. I'm only 5 picks out in the NFL side now. So Rashee Rice went 44 in this one, well after Xavier Worthy. That's a big shift from the one that we just saw. The guy at the turn got his Burrow Jamar Chase stack. That's nice. Now with what I'm looking at, yeah, I'd be ecstatic if Waddle or Ridley falls to me. If they don't, I'm certainly going to have to pivot, but I'm cool with it. I also did not realize that both the running backs I've drafted are rookies. Statistically, it's unlikely that both of them break out. That's not a good sign. Also have week 8 and week 12 buys in both spots. That's uncanny. All right. I get Calvin Ridley. Cool. That's like best case scenario there is getting Calvin Ridley. So very happy with how that turned out. Now, I could go Rome. Yeah, I'm thinking Rome if he falls. because that would allow me to set up a potential stack with Caleb down the road and with Luther Burden down the road. We're going to do that. And now we got our 2 running backs, 4 receivers. Solid start. So my next pick, doing the quick math, the end of round 7 is pick 85 or 84. So I have Amon-Ra. So if Laporta falls, I want him, right? I don't mind going with the Packers guys like I had last time. I don't mind Brian Robinson Jr. I like Josh Downs. I like Tony Pollard in that range. Okay, back to college because we're only 4 picks away. Holy crap, that went fast. All right, let's take a look at what we got. Jaden Ott's the top of the board. Not taking Jaden Ott. I'm not a believer in Jaden Ott. It's not because of his talent. It's because like Ben Arbuckle's system does not prioritize one running back. Dang, Kevin Coleman went. And also at the same time, Oklahoma was not going to have a lot of success running the ball against the SEC defense. They didn't last year. I don't anticipate it to happen this year. Just I'm cool with I'm good. I'm good on Jaden Ott. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take Jack Endries, the new Texas tight end right here. And then I'm probably going to take my number 1 player on the board still in Dylan Jones. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up on the chat a little bit here. I do see Darren saying go with Wingo. Yeah, the Clemson receivers would. So like the thing is with the Clemson receivers is like they're so hard to predict. I would really prefer them on Klubnik teams, but like if you told me right now that one of them was going to break out, I'd believe it. I just don't know which one it's going to be. And that's what's frustrating about it, right? And it's what makes it so hard to pick is you just don't know which one it's going to be. All right, so now I am 20 picks away. So my next pick is going to be around, what is 9 times 12? 108. So around 108. All right, what's going to be available to me? Colin Lacey could fall. I already have Chase Sowell, so I could take Rocco Becht. Even though we talked about on these shows before, I massively think that taking a 3rd quarterback quick is overrated. More often than not, your top 2 quarterbacks start. It doesn't necessarily even mean the first 2 that you drafted, but your top 2 on the season end up starting more often than not. So I don't know. I'm not in a rush to take that 3rd quarterback. Okay, back on the NFL side. Sam Laporta went. Dang it. That would have been a prime stacking opportunity. As it stands right now, dude, there's like no quarterbacks and tight ends near the top of the board. That's fine. Because I can take Caleb when it gets to me at the end of the 9th round. Yeah. And I'll just have to figure out who I didn't want to take here. I still have Pollard queued up, but I'm not married to the idea. Well, good thing I wasn't because he just got taken. Let's go a little Josh Downs if he falls. That's what I'm thinking. A little Josh Downs. Yeah. All right. Now what? What tight ends are going to be available around 108? I could get my guy Evan Ingram, or I could get Njoku again if I wanted to. Yeah, you know what? Let's roll the dice on tight end a little bit. Dang, there went Brian Robinson though. Let's get Shakir. Let's take Shakir, and then I'm going to roll the dice a little bit on tight end. I want to end up with Ingram or Andrews. But also, I'm like, if one of those falls through, I simply just take Luther Burden. That's the plan. All right. Now, let's go back to the college side. So, Jaden Ott did end up getting drafted at 92. Look, I get it. He could only stay at the top of the board in ADP for so long. My guy Colin Lacey went at 98. Dane Key 101. I do like me some Dane Key. It is looking unlikely that Rocco Becht is going to fall to us to complete that stack. dang, there went Trent Walker too. So like all the guys that I queued up are getting taken. Holy crap. All right. That's okay. We can figure out a new plan. We got time. We got time. I'm thinking maybe Emmett Mosley is a target in the 11th round. I'm thinking Becht, y'all. If he falls. And then if he doesn't, Koyikin. Let's see what happens. If it's an auto, it's probably going to be Becht. So let me queue up Koyikin. Okay. So I'm going to get Becht. And I'm hoping that I'm going to get Koyikin right here. This guy's already got 4 quarterbacks. He only has 1 receiver. He might take Koyikin. I should have played that better if I had a little more awareness of who he had. But this part of the charm of doing 2 drafts at once. Okay. I get Koyikin. Cool. All right. So now, as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and queue up Emmett Mosley, the 5th, by the way, is like literally when you see his name in like a game on the back of a jersey, it'll say Emmett Mosley V. Apparently there's been 4 Emmett Mosleys before him, which is crazy. All right. I think that's good in the queue for now. Maybe we'll throw in DeAndre Moore in there. We'll throw him in. We'll also throw in Jeff Caldwell. I actually really like Jeff Caldwell. We'll throw in Bishop also and Stewart. I like those guys. All right. So we got our queue nice and firmly set up. Let's go back to the NFL, see if we've gotten sniped. Okay. So Caleb still on the board. A lot of QBs still on the board. So it would be like really a cruel twist of fate if we don't get Caleb because of how few quarterbacks have been taken. Now, where the decision comes in is, do I really go aggressive for my Bears stack? Well, given that Evan Ingram went, it's going to depend on what happens with Mark Andrews. I think if Andrews is still there, Pedersen already has Jaden Daniels. You know what, though? He fooled me earlier. I did not think he was going to take Jaden Daniels earlier. So do I just go ahead and take Caleb and trust that he won't take Andrews? No, we're going to go ahead and take Andrews and hope that even if he does take a quarterback, it's not Caleb. See, this auto timing out, it's making me nervous. One pick away. Let's see what he does here. Cool. Wasn't Caleb. It was a quarterback, but it wasn't Caleb. All right. So now obviously a burden falls to me. That's going to be the next play. I have a tight end now. I don't have to stress out about getting one of them. Who could I get as a second quarterback? Is Goff still on the board? Sure is. Oh, I'm probably not going to get him, though. Could get Cam Ward. We'll see. Also, try not to get too far behind here. Darren, do you believe Hoosiers offense will be good? Yes. So Indiana, their offense last year was largely good because of a weak schedule and the fact that Curt Cignetti is just really good at scheming up offense. I anticipate that to be the case again this year. So now back to my college draft, and y'all, they done sniped my Texas boys. Like, I'm here trying to set up this Arch Manning mega stack, and they took away from me DeAndre Moore and Emmett Mosley the 5th. Why did I QO Purdue? I did not want to do that. Now, though, I do get one of my favorite running backs that is left, Deshaun Bishop out of Tennessee. Boom. I think that Tennessee offense is going to be really run heavy this year, given that they don't have a 5-star quarterback anymore. So I like the idea, even if you think it's going to be a committee, which I think it's a possibility, getting a guy, Deshaun Bishop, in an offense that's going to play up tempo, that's going to run the ball a lot. It does create explosive plays. We saw it with Dylan Sampson last year, Jalen Wright the year before. I think that's just a really, really solid late round running back play here in Underdog. All right. I need to go and get my queue set up. So doing the math, my next pick is going to be 155. So who might be available around 155? Here's the problem. Like I was talking about with you guys earlier, college is unpredictable. It's quite unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. Ooh, I like Xavier Townsend, so I'm going to move him up. We're going to put those guys in the queue. We're going to see what happens. Okay, back to NFL. So looks like a ton of quarterbacks went. Were any of them Dak? Yes. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about Dak. I was thinking about Goff. Wow, what a Goffle mistake. Haha. Goff went. Dang it. So second quarterback is going to be ugly. But we'll make it work. 3 picks away. I kind of need another running back, y'all. Actually, let's go Colston Loveland, and then we'll be done at tight end. And then I can figure out running back after that. Yeah. This guy doesn't take Loveland. Cool. Thank you, McGravy. We'll take Loveland, and then at the running back spot, I've got a theme of like rookie running backs so far. I don't necessarily want a third one. Let's go Ray Davis or Rashad White. My rankings say White. My heart says Davis. You know what? We'll go Rashad White. Like, I've talked about him on stream before, but basically, Bucky Irving, it took him 16 weeks to unseat Rashad White as the starter for the Bucs, right? Like, are we so certain that Rashad White isn't just going to go back to being a big part of the offense? I think so. Plus, there's always a chance Bucky Irving gets hurt, and it's all Rashad White's again anyway. So, we'll see. All right. Back to college. 5 picks away. They took my running back, boys. Great. I can get Townsend. Townsend's the priority right here, because that would really give me my Iowa State stack with Becht and Sowell and Townsend. Because the reason why that's important is because Iowa State is replacing 2, not 1, 2 NFL caliber wide receivers in Higgins and Noel. And we don't really know how those targets are going to get redistributed in this offense. So if I am able to secure both Sowell and Townsend, in my opinion, Sowell projects to be more the Higgins role, the kind of the big body downfield guy. Townsend projects more for the Noel slot, low ADOT role. I feel pretty good about getting both of those guys. All right, now I've got 5 wide receivers already. I don't really feel like I need to draft a whole lot of more of them. Do I need another quarterback this soon? Do I? It's pretty bad down the bottom. I'm thinking Gunnar Stockton here, y'all. I'm thinking Gunnar Stockton. Yeah, we're gonna go Gunnar. Why not? Like, you're getting a guy that we know Georgia's going to score a lot of points because, you know, if you're beating teams 42-3, you score 42 somehow. And he's mobile. He can run. Oh man, I was really thinking Roman Hemby for my next running back pick. I really need another running back, y'all. So let's throw a few up in the queue. I like Montgomery a lot, actually. Okay. 3 in the queue so far, and let's get back to the NFL side because I'm only 6 picks away. Did I have anybody left in the queue on the NFL side? I can't remember. Either way, I don't now. So 5 picks away. I do need a backup quarterback. I do need another running back. I'm good at tight end. No more tight ends. I'm good. You know what? Cam Ward, like I got Ridley, I can get another Titans receiver. They don't have week 5 bye, right? Yeah. Let's go Cam Ward. Well, let's do that. And then at running back, oh boy, that's bad. I'm not doing Roshan again. I don't need too much Roshan in my life. I'm going to go ahead and secure Ward now because so what if he drafts one of these mediocre running backs? We were just talking about him on the college stream, ironically. What do we think about Jalen Wright here? Let's do it. Jalen Wright's an explosive play waiting to happen. So he breaks off a 65-yard touchdown run. That might be all I need for him to start in best ball for me. All right, I'm 20 picks away. Done worrying about that for a second. Back to college. If it does fall to me in this way, I think I want to take Miles Montgomery next. Yeah. Although there's 2 receivers near the top that I do particularly like. Actually, 3 that I particularly like now that I see it. Quasi Gilmer, projected to be the wide receiver 1 for UCLA. They're not going to be a dumpster fire on offense. They might just be your average run-of-the-mill mediocre on offense this year, but they're not going to be a dumpster fire like they were last year. Could be a target monster. Amarian Miller. So, like, somebody's got to get all these, like, vacated Travis Hunter, LaJohntay Wester, Will Shepard targets, right? Amarian Miller, when he was in the game last year. No, wait, I'm thinking of the wrong Miller. I want Draylon Miller. Has he been taken? Draylon Miller was the guy that would. Somebody has taken him. Dang it. Okay. Now I'm on the clock. Okay. Let's go Gilmer. Which messes with him because he had Nico. Haha. Sorry, buddy. Draylon Miller was the guy that was getting all these screens and like these underneath looks. So Draylon Miller to me is the Colorado receiver that I'm intrigued by. The other one that I was going to talk about was Julia Farouk at Maryland. They got to replace all the targets vacated from Prather and Felton. And their quarterback play last year was nothing spectacular. So I'm not super concerned about quarterback play. Miles Montgomery for UCF is going to be my pick. So a lot of people are worried about the committee for UCF because they also have Jaden Nixon, formerly of Western Michigan, was quite good at Western Michigan, if I might add. But Miles Montgomery went to Big 12 Media Days, and that matters. That means that they're projecting him to be a big part of the team. You don't just send any random scrub to the media day for your conference, right? Like those are representatives for your program. So I think that there's a little something there. UCF explosive offense under Scott Frost. I like it. I probably want one more running back, one more wide receiver. Like, how many picks left do I have? That was round 16. So I have 4 more. I can probably go one more at each position and be pretty comfortable. So a little bit of flexibility there on the college side. Back to NFL. 6 picks away. I'm probably good at quarterback. Definitely need another running back. Definitely need a few more than wide receivers. And I'm good at tight end. Okay. So, which is really good that I'm good at tight end because tight end, oh, buddy, it always just looks like so bad at this point in the draft. You know what? I think it's time to go with one of my favorite late round wide receivers, y'all. One of my favorite late round wide receivers, if he falls. Yep. De'Ami Brown. So, like, if you've been watching any of my other NFL best ball streams, you guys know I'm not on the Travis Hunter as a fantasy player train. Like, I just think there's so much that can go wrong. I'd rather like allow myself to be talked into situations that can go right, not situations that can go wrong. I'm not on Travis Hunter as a fantasy player. And so if he's not playing full-time offense, De'Ami Brown is, and that is significantly helpful for fantasy if he is doing so. I'm going to go ahead now and secure Tyler Lockett. So Tyler Lockett adding to my little Tennessee Titans stack. And I'm probably going to want to take at least one more running back, if not 2 more, by the time that it comes back around to me. But we'll see who those guys are. Like I said earlier, I really like Kyle Monangai. I really like Taj Brooks. Like there's There's some late round running backs here that they could be something. I really like Rashad Smith too. Actually, he might be the pick of the litter. Oh crap! Only 3 picks, 2 picks away on the college side. Okay, I need to do some thinking now. Let's do Sam Roush, tight end. I got injuries. Let's go ahead and get another tight end. We're good on tight end. Oh boy. Quarterback. It's quite bad. But let's get Aguilar. Like I said earlier, Tennessee, explosive offense. Gonna score points. If you score 42, somebody's scoring touchdowns. So now I'm going to have an opportunity to take one more receiver and one more running back. Why does Giles Jackson not have a team next to him? That's weird. Oh, now this end of draft running back situation is really bad. Okay, I got some guys in the queue. See how it plays out. If I want to be smart about it. Well, there went Nate Palmer. Never mind. All right. Well, anyway, back to NFL. 6 picks away here for the NFL. We're about to close it out. And like I said, I think I want to close it out on 2 running backs. I don't exactly have a very secure running back room, whereas my receiver room right now, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, y'all. Like, that's a really good receiver room, in my opinion. So I'm going to stop at 8 receivers. And I'm going to go ahead and take 2 running backs here. I feel like did I have more than 3 in the queue? Did somebody get taken? No? Okay, maybe I'm going crazy because I am doing 2 drafts at once. I am juggling a lot here. Oh, I did see this for in the chat for Darren. Says, did you see Connors at Rice, target monster, maybe something for Cougs? Yeah, that Houston offense is just so unsexy. Like, they run at such a slow tempo. They've got Connor Wigman at quarterback. I'm just not very intrigued by it, even though I do think Connors is a dude. I just tend to be lower than value, like for him. Like, I don't really draft him a lot because he doesn't really fall, and I think I have him rated lower than where he's getting drafted. I actually have my queue reversed here from how I want it. I want to go Monongai. If I go Monongai, that gets me my Bears running back room, and also successfully drafted a Bears running back in both NFL drafts tonight. Come on, I need you to hurry because then, yep, cool. All right, now I'm officially done in the NFL. And now I can go back to college because I'm only 1 pick away. Boy, running back got depleted. Rasul Faison, by the way, if I knew that he was guaranteed to get his waiver, that's the easy selection. Let's go ahead and take Lewis Bond. I like Lewis Bond. I play him in DFS all the time. He's a wide receiver 1 for Boston College. They don't have Thomas Castellanos anymore, so they might actually be able to throw a forward pass, which would be great for him for fantasy purposes. And then I'm thinking Cedric Alexander here, y'all. At least he's a starter, right? Like, yeah, let's do that. All right, and we're officially all done. So let's take a look at what we drafted here on the college side. So we start off with Arch Manning, always nice. Sam Levitt at quarterback for 2 really good, solid starting quarterbacks. Added in Rocco Becht, Gunnar Stockton, Joey Aguilar for a 5 quarterback build. Feel pretty good about that. At running back, start off with Hankerson. Love that. Like, I've been big proponent on these drafts of starting with an elite running back, whether it's in round 1 or round 2. get you an elite running back, and that is one of my guys, Anthony Hankerson. So very happy with that. Justice Haynes at pick 35. Like I said, the only misstep I might have made was you could have made the argument that if I like Sawyer Robertson more than Sam Levitt, which I do, that I could have taken Robertson and then Haynes, but I didn't know what the guy that turned was going to do, and I really wanted to nab Haynes. So I'm cool with how it played out. But that you could argue that was a misstep on my part. And then Dylan Jones, projected start at Wisconsin, like it. Deshaun Bishop, projected start at Tennessee, like it. Like I'm getting all starting running backs on explosive offenses. Well, you could argue Michigan's not explosive offense, but I like that I'm getting starting running backs on teams that are going to run the ball and going to score points. Receiver, Ryan Wingo, stacked with Arch Manning. Love it. Chase Sowell and Xavier Townsend, stacked with Rocco Becht. Love it. Coy Eakin, projected to be a big part of that Texas Tech offense. Josiah Trader, projected to be the Miami wide receiver 1. Quasi Gilmer, Lewis Bond, same way, projected to be their team's wide receiver 1. And then at tight end, Jack Andrews and Sam Roush. Look, tight end is not super relevant this year. So what I did was I secured a stacking partner with Andrews, with Arch Manning. And then Sam Roush, I think, is just a pretty talented guy at Stanford. Only downside is he does have the triple bye. He might share one with Andrews, but if that's a byproduct of not being able to double check it, I'm okay with that because it is just the tight end position. On the NFL side, start off with our 1-2 turn of Amon-Ra and Genty, which was not what we were planning on doing, but I'm fine with it. And then we're able to, at the next turn, get Terry McLaurin, got sniped on Jaden Daniels, but did get Amari and Hampton. And then after that, went wide receiver heavy. Calvin Ridley, Roma Dunes, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir. Next 4 picks for wide receivers. Getting guys that I all think can be pretty good this year. And then finishing the Bears stack with Caleb Williams, getting Mark Andrews and Colston Loveland at tight end. And then ending the running back room with some high upside backups, Rashad White, Jalen Wright, Rashard Smith, and Kyle Monanga. So I think I felt pretty good. I felt like I did pretty good. Yeah, he is Darren's right. I didn't get I did get Genty, but I didn't really get what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't really get like a Bijan Saquon type player, but it's byproduct of being pick 11. Michael Wheeler in the chat says, finally got my LSU homer draft, and besides getting snapped on trade as, whoa, I did not know that you were in. Oh, I see it now. M Wheel 7. Yeah, let's see what you got. Nussmeyer, like it. Salter, like it. Drones, high upside. Markiel, high upside. Malik Washington, high upside. I like that quarterback room. Isaac Brown, great round 1 pick. I had no problem taking him at ADP at 7. That's about where I have him ranked. Explosive player. Louisville, Jeff Brom offense, going to score a lot of points. Jamal Haynes, another explosive player, Georgia Tech. Like Turbo Richard, projected starter for Boston College. The LSU stack, I like it, especially considering when you've got a pocket passer like Nussmeyer. Getting stacking partners works out. Kevin Coleman, great pick. I like Kevin Coleman a lot. You got to replace the Burden Weiss targets somehow, and he's a big part of that. Farouk stacked with Washington. Omega Blake, projected wide receiver 1 for Arkansas. Someone's got to replace the Andrew Armstrong targets. I like it. And then Jolly is one of my favorite tight ends this year, right up there with what's his face, Jack Andrews from Texas. So I think you got yourself a solid draft there. All right, but yeah, that is going to go ahead. Oh, Darren says, did McFall, SMU running back, get drafted? I don't know if he did. The interesting thing with him is I can't remember. There's some sites that he's listed as a running back, some sites he's listed as a receiver. I think on Underdog he's listed as a running back. If y'all see him here on the board, tell me in the chat, because I'm looking, I don't see him. But I do think that's a solid late round running back target is McFall, because he's like a gadget type player that they're going to look to get the ball in his hands at some point. Yeah, I don't see him on here. You can make the argument that I could have drafted him over Cedric Alexander, but I like drafting starters. It's just kind of like one of my things. It's kind of one of my fatal flaws on here is I like drafting guys who I project to start. But anyway, that's going to do it for the first ever Simultaneous NFL and what? Oh, Michael in the chat says he went 196. Okay, I didn't. Dang, my awareness must be lessening here late at night. Yeah, there he is. 196 is right. He's listed as a receiver. That's why I didn't notice. Yeah. Yeah, actually that's a really like nifty pick as a wide receiver, a running back with wide receiver eligibility. Yeah, I like that a lot actually. That's as a pick. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's gonna do it here for this, y'all. We went really long on the stream, but it's because we had to had to little audible because the college draft didn't start until the first NFL draft was done. Sometimes you just get unlucky like that, but we got in 2 NFL drafts, 1 college draft. I'm still workshopping the name. Like I said, I feel like calling it the Travis Hunter draft is accurate, but not accurate because Travis Hunter plays offense and defense. Would be a better representative of doing like NFL and college. Like, I don't know. Like, is it the Bill Belichick draft going from NFL to college? I don't know. You guys help me workshop the name. But anyway, that's going to do it here for this live episode. Make sure you guys, before you leave, hit the like button on the video. Helps me out a ton when you guys do that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because, like Darren said, we are going to have content for the 3M Open for golf this week. We are going to have a whole lot of best ball content coming your way with guests throughout the rest of the summer. And then you guys know once the regular season starts, that's when it gets really fun. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you can be here with us for that. Thank you guys for watching for this crazy, chaotic double draft stream. I enjoyed doing it. Let me know if you guys enjoyed watching it. But that's going to do it here for this episode, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get some sleep. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.